Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on iKeysRacing for the second chapter of the new playlist, The Cheater. As you have seen, we have made a lot of changes and a lot of improvements just because we have a lot of money available. So let's go to race, the first race of the season. Sorry, this has never happened to me. So the car is too light, so we have to repair and repair. Okay. So we have maybe 5 kilograms of ballast. Nice. Anyway, your, let's say, race director gives you a nice advice here and there. And talk about what bring on a race day. I usually bring everything unless I'm in trouble with money. So I'm going to bring everything and 3 cars, spare parts, blah, blah, blah. Excellent hospitality arrangement. And just because we do this, we spend almost... more than $250,000 of dollars, so not bad. Anyway, let's go to the race and the free practice. Okay. Okay, here we are. The first thing to do is go to the pit, and first of all we should load the car setup that I hope I have prepared in previous tries of this game. Yes, Australia dry, open, copy plans to all cars, and this is the first point. Then the driver, just always get 2 laps more than the 5 predicted to be completed, and if you don't mind, also choose the pace yourself for each driver. So they basically manage themselves, and because they are 2 good drivers, they are more than good to be, let's say, ready to manage every moment of the race, every moment of the practice, etc. Let's click on OK. Let's go to this car, then we press the space bar and we launch also the second car. If you don't want to wait too much, I would suggest to go to check the free practice timing and move the slide entirely to the right, so as you can see, cars are starting to race very quickly. And also, if you keep the pit board coming, you see the lap time, and let's see if we can get the complete timing. Okay, the first laps, as you can see, are quite a huge advantage for the iKeysRacing team with both drivers equalizing almost the same lap time. And sorry, I've not edited John Newhouse's Jacques Villeneuve, sorry. Anyway, compared to Williams and Ferrari, we already have a decent pace. So we wait just the cars to go back to the pit. Okay, and here we have the second driver. Let's see what they say. Perfect, perfect, perfect. As you can see, again, the brake balance is near to the rear. Anyway, seems all perfect. So you can finish the current practice session and go directly to the qualification one. Again, choose a new set of tires, brings 2 laps more than the predicted one. Just pace yourself, every driver, and let's go. Okay, as you can see, finally Ferrari and Williams have regained some gap against us, but let's see at the end of the qualifying session where we are. Let's see the car setup, still perfect. And here we are, the second driver. Yes, all perfect. So if we could stay as we are, would be not bad. First and second at the debut with a rookie team, but with a tiny margin over the 2 Ferraris. Let's go to finish the session. Is the fake time lapse, time frame. We're still first and second. Yes, we should keep the pole position in the first row. Obviously, in the rookie version is very unreal, the difference between the first driver and the last one, 10 seconds. I mean, just maybe the Lola MasterCard at the practice session of 1997 season was 6 to 8 seconds far from the best time lap, but that's it, so no problem at all. Okay. We have some irregularities, I don't know what. Anyway, okay, we are in pole position, we are in first row, and as you can see, in 96 there was still that silly 107% regulation that was bringing some drivers out just because they were not close enough to the best drivers. Obviously this time with a rookie level game it's really, how to say, ridiculous to avoid all these drivers to take part at the race. So as you can see, just Lamy, Badoer and Montermini with Minardi and Forti are kept out. Strangely enough, the Cassini is qualified better than a Forti and a Minardi, so really not so realistic, but anyway, no problem at all. During the warm-up I would say just change tires, and maybe it's not needed also to pace yourself every driver. We can end it. Okay, so this is the starting grid. Two Ferraris trying to challenge us, Hill Coulthard, Alesi, Newhouse, that is Villeneuve, Jacques, etc, etc, etc. Up to how many cars? 23. Okay. Now we are in race modality, race scenario, so we pace yourself the driver, we choose a new set of tires, and for driver number 1 the computer is suggesting a 2 pit stop strategy. Let's try to see also the second driver, choose 100% new tires and 2 pit stop strategy. Just bear in mind to keep them separated, so if the driver stops at lap number 16, this driver number 2, the driver number 1 stops 3 laps later, then 34 for the second driver and lap 38 for the first driver. To me more than okay, and could be as it is. I'm not sure about the weight. How can I add weight? I don't know, because I did choose to balance it. Maybe we have to go to the car setup, but where can I add the ballast? I do not see it. Do you remember that we have clicked on repair the problem? Okay, we are 5 kilo. Maybe we will be disqualified. I don't know. This is a nice challenge. Never faced before, and as you can see, after practice and qualifying, we have a bit of wearing out parts, but nothing, let's say, impossible to race with. And let's go with the formation lap. I don't remember if here you have to pace yourself, any driver, whatever. Okay, all the cars are on the grid, so let's race and start. Okay, now I don't remember all the features available. We are not Sala. I did a mistake, sorry. I didn't want to see the pit board and I've called to the pit the driver number 1. What an idiot. So we can do 33 laps and the next one can be at 23 plus 40 maybe. No, sorry, at lap we are at lap number 5. We stop now, we do 23, yes, 27 maybe, with new tires. Sorry for the first driver, I've used the silly... Oh, here we are. We are anyway first and second. So as you can see, there's nothing special apart waiting for what the race does. So you wait and you manage to okay, we are very close to the pit stop of the driver number 2. So we change tires, we place all the fuel we can, and it will last until 17 minus 34, yes, it should be enough. Let's avoid the pit board, okay. Now we wait the driver number 1. He has 9 laps with fuel, and tires are almost in the mid part of usage. Okay, because the car will not, I think, last until lap 27, I would like to call to the pit the driver, just in case. Okay, new tires, the maximum fuel is 23, and with this we arrived to 51 laps, so let's say that around 45 we do another pit stop, will be a splash and go, but I've ruined completely, and I'm sorry to the driver number one, the strategy. My mistake, clicking the mechanic key. I don't know in English how you call it. This for us is chiave inglese, for Italians is chiave inglese, so basically British key, translated as it is. Okay, another pit stop, and we should arrive to the end, but who knows, because 35 plus 23 are exactly 58 laps. I think we will do splash and go also with the second car. As you can see, despite making a mistake with the first driver, they are very close, and they have almost 2 laps of advantage over them on Hill, Irvine, etc. Crazy. The rookie level is really easy, but you win races, you attract sponsors, etc., etc. Okay, looking at the fuel and at the tire management, I would say that compared to the driver number 2, we stay with the driver number 1 that in 7 laps should pit, but if strategy will be respected, lap 45 should be perfect, and so we can go to the end, but we can load also all the possible fuel. So the driver number 1 goes to the end, also with tires, no problem. We wait the driver number 2 when he will have 2 laps remaining in the tank. We will make a splash and go. Okay, let's call it to the pit, change tires, just make a couple of laps, and we will see who will be in the lead, if driver number 1 or number 2. Number 2 with 5 seconds over the teammate. So here we are, very easily we have built up from scratch a new team and a debut with winning pole position, first row and first and second place on the podium. The others were overlapped by a huge margin, and so this is the final classification. Okay, let's see, from a weight point of view, I do not see any, let's say, fine ticket or whatever, but let's wait the end of the race, and we have made a 2 laps minimum advantage over Benetton, Ferrari and Williams. When up to the point where we will stay with this advantage, I would say you can avoid also to test your car, to improve your car with testing. Anyway, this is the current classification, the current Constructor Championship, and here let's start with the messages you get after each race. It looks like we are going to get the car chassis finished. They made 12% progress, so in I think more or less 9 races it will be ready for the new season, so we can reduce a bit this speed, and we have also earned some money because of the results of Australian Grand Prix. As you can see, from security point of view, we have lost the steering system technology because the security company was working with a lot of other teams. So internally there is a sort of bribery, blackmailing, whatever, someone has spoken and not in our favor. Anyway, first pole for the first driver, 1-2 for the team, almost won the first driver, first point, and first career win for the driver number 2. Okay, next race, Brazil. Let's save the game. And the first thing I would like to do is go to internal parts, fit with the best one, do the same also for the car number 2. The car number 3 hasn't been touched. Let's go also to the externals. They are okay, but I would suggest to fit the best parts anyway before a race weekend, even if you could use the external parts in 2 races, but to avoid any possible loss, I would say this is the thing to do. And I was looking to new car chassis that we can reduce by 10% and see how it will be progressed after the next race. Let's save it. Okay, and I wanted to, as you can see, there is a black flag. I don't remember at all where to. First of all, from a security contract point of view, I would like to let's say go away from AWA security and work with Champion, offer a deal, and paying what is needed to not lose any weight technology. And now we are not in the group of 5, so should be a nice move, hoping that the current security supplier with 2 stars will be, let's say, more than enough to protect us. Anyway, no, I don't remember where it's possible to add 5 kilograms of ballast. Maybe in the next race, having the check is too light, blah 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 blah. Okay, repair. Okay, we bring all, but before the practicing we load the Brazil setup. Okay, we have a Brazil wet previous loaded setup, so we will have to test a bit the car. And sorry, here, so we have to add 5 kilograms. Copy plans to all. Okay, let's do some testing. Pace yourself. First driver, let's go to the car setup. 5 kilograms of ballast. Perfect. Let's add 2 laps and pace yourself. Okay, let's go out. Okay, as you can see, they spun off because they were racing maybe with a setup of the wet for the wet that is not the right one. So we just have the possibility to go to the qualifying session, load the Australian dry setup, copy plans to all, okay, with 5 kilograms, so the car is now legal. Pace yourself the first driver, go out 5 laps, allow him to have some practice, and call it back to the pit, read his feedback, his comments. Okay, advice. The rear wing is too high, so we bring down by 5 points. The gear is set too low, more speed on straight, so we increase this one. Center of gravity is too low, strange, very strange. Tire pressure too high, we go down a bit. Here your ticks are really in the different colored area of the pressure. I mean, here or here doesn't make a huge difference, just when you change the color. And we should soften all the suspension. Soft and soft. Okay, copy plans to all and save at this point the setup with Brazil dry. I was sure I had it, instead not. So, okay, copied everything. We switch the driver, we add 2 laps, we pace himself, and let's go. We are not bad placed anyway. Okay, now we'll come back to the pit, I hope. Yes. Car setup, advice. Rear wing is too high. Okay, center of gravity too low, brake balance, tire pressure is too high. So let's start with tire pressure. Perfect, perfect. And rear wing too high, so we go down by 5 points. Let's try. Copy plans to all. And the center of gravity must be bring up. Let's try 5 touches. Okay, let's go back to driver number 1. Still pace yourself. Go out. Let's see if he spins or not. Okay, let's call it back to the pit. Rear wing is too high. 5. And let's go to 47, but at this point I don't know if it will be enough. Anyway, we choose the second driver, hoping to have the possibility to make at least 3 laps, 1 out from the pit, 1 raced, and 1 back to the pit to have the feedback. We can continue anyway in the warm-up. Okay, let's see the advices. Too high, perfect, too low. I'm not sure, maybe it's a sort of bug also this one, I don't know. Let's keep this and let's continue during the warm-up to improve the setup. That will anyway will be saved, and so will be also how to say kept for different season. I mean, the main purpose of this almost cheating tutorial is you have all the possibility, all the best skill levels of each driver. So just go on with running into every circuit, save your setup, and then it will be the base for each season you would like to play, at least with 96 season. So that being said, we still have the front row by a tiny margin over the Cassini, incredible, and the other Cassini, where is? Ridiculous. It is 6 seconds far from his teammate. But anyway, we start there. Not allowed Verstappen, Lamy and Montermini. Let's go to the warm-up. Let's load a bit of fuel. Let's copy the touched setup. Let's see what the driver says. Too high, more speed. Okay, let's go down. I always try to keep also not a huge difference between front and rear wing, because to me, if you risk to do it too much, for what I remember, the driver, despite being very, let's say, capable, is absolutely risking to spin at every turn. But anyway, let's see if it happens. So it's just a testing purpose. I've never seen anyway, never heard anyway, a driver blaming for a too low center of gravity. Very often you just need to bring down. Okay, now it's too high. Okay, let's use the other driver, sorry. I was saying that generally you love to have a low center of gravity, no discussions about it. Okay, let's see the advice. Rear wing is too high, more speed. Okay, too high, so 5 touches. Let's go to We were 39, let's try at 34. To me it's really too much, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Okay. This is the job you... Okay, session has ended, so we don't know if the setup was good or not. Anyway, we will start from the front row again. So, pace yourself, 2 pit stops, new tires. Let's take the risk to save the Brazil setup, copy plans to all the cars. Let's go to driver number 2, still 2 pit stops, so laps number 20 and 42, 23, 44. Okay, let's try to bet if will be good or not. I'm quite worried about the setup chosen, not tested and blah blah blah. Not tested enough, at least. I'm sorry to make you wait for this long setup test, let's say. I was sure to have already the perfect setup, but that wasn't the case, I'm sorry. Anyway, the 2 cars so far are looking decently well. We are waiting lap number 20, the second driver, and lap 23, the first one. The advantage over McLaren, Cassini, Williams, etc. is already almost 1 lap. No, less. Three quarter of lap. Okay, should arrive the first pit stop for us. Okay, let's load all the possible fuel. Let's change tires. He should be already paced by himself. 13 seconds. Now let's wait the second driver. Change tires. Maximum fuel load. Pace yourself and go. 12 seconds, okay. You can also do during testing days the pit stop improvement test for your team, just in case you notice that you are very... You must go here, if I remember well. Yes, for example, Ligier, McLaren, Tyrrell, etc. are doing at these laps 8 seconds as an average, let's say, pit stop. We are really slow, so when you see this and you are really fighting second by second with the other teams, you should do some tests and improve this aspect during a test day. We can do it, but we don't need it, so no problem so far. Okay, now let's wait until lap 42 for the last pit stop of the second driver, that anyway from 42 to 71 are 27 laps, right? No, sorry, are 29 laps, and I'm not sure that the car does contain more than 28 laps. Anyway, we will see. Yes, as I was saying, 63, we risk to not finish the race, so we will do a splash and go at the end of the race. Let's just check driver number 1 stopping now. He should be able to go to the end because 20 laps, yes, he should be. So this one, this driver number 1 should arrive to the end easily. Let's keep an eye on his teammate. Damon Hill, another penalty also in this race. You can choose to play to the real, let's say, timing counter. It takes really ages to finish a season. I am now recording close to 40 minutes this video, so okay, that generally speaking I cut here and there moment of silence or moment of boring development of the race, but you get more or less 20 minutes for each race. This time I'm sorry I had to test the car with the setup to be improved when needed, but it was my fault. I was sure to have saved before the Brazil dry setup. Okay, I think it's time to call to the pit the driver number 2, because with 4 laps he will not end the race. So we load him 11 laps, we change tires, and let's see what happens. And maybe the karma now is going to give to driver number 1 a victory stolen by me without any aim to do it in the Australian Grand Prix. So again, incredible, how good we are as a team manager. First and second, switching position from the previous Grand Prix, third Schumacher. So it's a strong battle between the two iKeysRacing drivers. Nothing really spectacular from outside, given the fact that the rest of the field basically arrived where? Wow, 1 lap down. But as you can see, compared to the Australian Grand Prix, at least one car is 1 lap down. If I should race now, and maybe I'm going to do it, the Argentinian Grand Prix, should happen that as long as you don't continue to test the car and to improve the car, the others regain a bit of disadvantage. But unless you are not willing to spend money for the sake of just spending money, you can manage also this thing. And so that's it. We are leading the Drivers' Championship. Good. We are leading the Constructor Championship. We are more dominant than the Mercedes from 2014 up to now. 10% progress of the new chassis. Good. And $175,000 of price for the result. As you can see, if you just repair all the parts of the car, let's say you don't make a living with what the FIA gives you as a price for winning races. But you know, I mean, sometimes this is real. I mean, you need sponsors. Here we have a racing news. Ukyo Katayama injured. Sorry for the nice Japanese driver. 1-2 for iKeysRacing. Dominant win for the first win in the career of driver number 1. Let's go to Argentina, but before we save, we keep the design of the new chassis as it is. I would say maybe we can reduce almost by 5% just to slow it down. Let's go to the sponsor side, merchandise. After 2 races we have to do again our beloved t-shirt that nobody is purchasing. I don't know, we will discover it. Let's go to internal parts and fit with the best. Car number 3 is okay. And outside, new part again. What else to do? From a contract point of view, we haven't been stolen by any secret developed part, so we can be happy. And apart from this, we try to keep the champion service security. Let's go to see a finance point of view. So profit and losses. As you can see, this is the report from last race, but you should always have a look to the year to date, because as you can see, we have spent 2.5 million in construction. Do you remember facilities, fuel, tires, parts, and blah blah blah. And income are just coming from FIA prize money. Let's say not enough to the subtotal of expenses. So if you start with 20 millions, you can see that even if you choose the easiest level of playing this game, from a financial point of view, you are basically spending 20 times what you earn just from pure FIA prize money for winning races. So not really a huge deal. And let's go to see the sponsoring time. If has produced anything good, nothing, but we are still just considered by cheap sponsors. So no worries, let's go on this way. Let's go on also on saving the game and doing the third race of the season in Argentina. We are around 45 minutes of recording video, but I will cut it as much as possible. Car setup, Argentine dry copied everywhere. We also add ballast. That's okay. Let's pace himself our driver number 2. Let's switch to driver number 1, sorry. Let's switch to driver number 2 and let's go to the track.
Let's increase the speed.
Okay, advices, perfect to know. Okay, so we have just to increase the center of gravity, but let's have a look also to the second driver. Yes, they say the same thing. So let's go 5 touches up. Let's go again on track. Let's see what they say. As you can see, if you have a pre-recorded car setup, it's also easier and it's just a fine-tuning race by race. I do not remember if I have all the car setups for each single track of this game, but I mean, you can test it, you can produce it. With the cheating, you can prepare yourself for a real challenge of an entire season played without cheating, etc. As you can see, I've been so idiot to not stop the car, talking over the car running, and so we will never know if the change of change of gravity, the center of gravity was okay or not, but we will discover it here in the qualifying session. So I was saying the main core of this game is maybe playing the first time as a sort of silly season, and then prepare the car setup for each track. Then you can start a season whatever you want, because at least you know that the car is well developed and well prepared from a setup point of view. Okay, we still have to go up. Let's get a new set of tires and 7 laps. From a timing point of view, we still have a decent margin over the Williams. I will try then to change the configuration and bring Jacques Villeneuve as the real name appearing with the second Williams. Center of gravity is still too low. This is for the driver number 1. Let's see the advice of driver number 2. Yes, the same. So we can take the setup, copy all, okay, use the previous set of tire. Okay, we have finished the qualifying lap, so we will keep what we have, so we can save the car setup as Argentina dry. Okay, that's it. So we wait the end of the session. We are still dominating the current session with the second driver again. Yes, we still have a decent advantage, but as you can see, from a qualifying point of view, in the third race of the season, they have been successful on catching up on us, at least from a pace point of view, with a couple of drivers. So here we are, really a tiny margin between the two, and we are going to not Simon Termini, Rosset and Lamy at the start of the race. So again, let's choose the right tire, fresh for both of them. Let's keep the warm-up. And let's go to race day. So pace yourself. We have a 3 pit stop strategy and we have enough fresh tires to do it, while the second driver will do a 2 pit stop strategy. So we are waiting lap 21 and 44, lap 16 and 36, just to be sure to not match them at the same lap. It could be we are already, let's say, slow in the pit stop, would be quite a sort of boring and unprofessional way to bring 2 cars in the same lap without any real need. Okay, let's go and let's keep the classification here. Not bad the start. After 5 laps we have 34 seconds of advantage, and we are very close with the 2 cars. Yes, it's almost a silly season like has been recently with Mercedes, having this huge advantage thanks to the FIA, that when they have claimed to abort their Formula 1 project back in 2012, 2013, they started to be allowed to do secret tests with Pirelli, to accept their own industrial technology to be the rule of Formula 1 for everybody. So really, so far we are really winning easily like Mercedes has done previously and currently. At least this year, I don't know you, but at least this year is more exciting because at least there are two drivers battling each other. But I would say that a constructor, let's say, will should not overcome the principle of a sport. So really, Mercedes should not have been allowed to do a so easy domination just because they were screaming and crying with FIA to abandon the sport. I mean, it's always beautiful when there is a fair and tough competition, not when someone has an advantage. We have seen advantages, I mean, back in 2010, 2012, when Red Bull was absolutely better than any other car. We remember the McLaren Honda Turbo in 1988 that won 15 races out of 16, but was just a single year. When you fake the sport for 7 years in a row, you also create titles, drivers, and teams that earn more history than they deserve. So really, at least in my opinion, not the best scenario. It's not anymore sport, it's just faking results. Okay, we should have the driver number 1 pitting now, so we give him all the maximum fuel and new tires. As you can see, from a pit stop point of view, we are last and in the mid part of the classification. We are far from the other drivers. We are now lap 39, so we are waiting driver number 2 at lap 44. And as you can see, once that is all in place, it's very easy also to race. You can really just start the race, fine-tune the setup, and that's it. Just remember to always fulfill the tank, but this time, yes, he should finish the race without any problem. We will keep an eye on tires for driver number 2 that should go to the end, and let's keep an eye on driver number 1 that is now leading the race, but waited at lap 53 for the last pit stop, so should give the lead to the teammate that is following him very closely. Okay, last pit stop, 28 laps to do and 29 on board. No, sorry, 18 laps to do. So because the driver number 1 is going to finish without any issue the race, apart from reliability just in case, let's keep an eye on fuel and on tire management of driver number 2, just in case before the end of the race he will need a quick pit stop. So the main purpose, as said before, is just cheat the first season with all the money you can get, with all the possible tips and tricks. Prepare your car setup and then start a season at the most difficult level you like, but at least with all the tracks already tested, already prepared from a car setup. Choose always a huge driver like Schumacher, Hakkinen, Berger or Alesi for the car development, and should be enough to win everything almost. And so here we are, third race of the season, with the iKeysRacing team winning again, this time with driver number 2 at his second victory overall in the season and in the career. Another straight podium, first and second, 1-2 for the team, and another front row in the qualification. Let's see the final result, some retirements, yes, both Williamses, one Ferrari, etc. And this time what else? We've been in the lead always from the start, and we had an advantage of 3 laps. Crazy, very crazy. Okay, so that's it. I would say we can go back to the main screen and just say also that the driver number 2 is leading by 4 points over his teammate, and apart from Schumacher and Alesi, nobody is keeping the pace really close. But that's it, it's really the absolutely easiest level playable this game, and this is how it goes. But you can think to, once you have all the cars set up, etc., you can start the season with all the track setups ready at the rookie level with the 20 millions in your bank account, your cash. And what else? Just doing what you have seen here, testing, improving, etc. It will be obviously harder to be immediately so competitive, but I mean, it's this is the easiest way to play it and to, let's say, build up a huge core of knowledge for your team. And going back to messages, quite nice to have the 9% progress. So also your chief designer director says if we maintain this effort for the rest of the season, the car will be ready, but at the end of the season or during mid-season you can increase anyway the percentage of people working on the new chassis. And again, you have scored pole position, a front row, 1-2 and a win in the last race. You get $175,000. First pole for the second driver, 1-2, second win in a row, and that's it. The next appointment will be the Nürburgring, so we go back to Europe and we can save the game now, just to be sure to change the best part for both cars, so we are already ready for the next race. Here we are. Okay, I've never tried the wind tunnel, but it's okay. I mean, it's not needed unless for the choice of the speed you get, but I mean, we will try another appointment because I'm now close to 1 hour recording, and I wanted to see, after saving, if it was possible to customize. No, so I cannot change, I'm sorry, the name of Jacques Villeneuve within the Williams team. I forgot it, sorry, but just remember that you can edit whatever you want. So what else? Let's go to sponsorship. Let's see if their interest has increased. No, cheap sponsors still interest in us. Merchandising, we still have all in place for the remaining races, at least until mid-season, and we are still not possibly producing any other kind of merchandise. But I would like to see also from a finance point of view in the year profit and losses, and as you can see, we are still just earning, not from sponsors, not from merchandising. I mean, we are winning and dominating the season. Nobody believes in us, and as you can see, we have increased to $500,000, more than $500,000, the income from the prices, but still spending a lot. And without sponsor, you could die after a single year. Also because, just bear in mind that if we would have started the season with 20 millions in our bank account, now we would be around, let's say, $13 million, just between expenditures and incomes, just because we have decided to build all the facilities and we have decided to not accept the first easy sponsorship. And that's it. I mean, you can accept the first sponsorship just to balance with around 1 or 2 millions before the end of the season, but anyway, $20 million will be not enough to just race without a sponsor. That being said, I would like to save again. Thank you very much, all of you, for watching the second episode, giving you the appointment to the third episode where we are going to race the German Grand Prix, the European Grand Prix at the Nürburgring, the San Marino Grand Prix at Imola, and the Monaco Grand Prix at Monte Carlo. And I think that with this pace, maybe we can do episode number 3, number 4, Catalonia, Spain, Montreal, Canada, Manicourt, France, number 5 episode, Silverstone, Hockenheim, Hungaroring, and then number 6 or 7, the last 4 races of the season, just at least to complete a full season, to show you whatever I can from what I know and what I remember. Anyway, you can see that if you start to play after this quick cheating tutorial I'm proposing to you, if you follow just these quick steps, will be quite easy at least to survive the first season, then get sponsorship because you are a winner, and then again let's say continue the second season, increasing and increasing your skill level as a team. We could try, I mean, a sort of special episode of the cheater without cheating, I mean, just playing the worst team available and doing it just with the 20 millions available for the first season. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I give you the appointment to the number 3 episode of this the cheater playlist, and see you very soon. And as always, if you don't know what to do, stay home, stay safe, stay racing. From Italy, ciao from Marco. Thank you very much. Bye bye.